Rye. The novel tells the story of Holden Caulfield, recounting his past and recalling events that led to his third expulsion in a row. He was expelled from Pensy Prep before Christmas break and decides to leave his school 2 days early to venture around New York City. Before returning home, he has to deal with describing his banishment from the school to his parents. Throughout the novel, Holden struggles and details his interactions with teachers, prostitutes, nuns, and his past love interest. Along with his sister, he struggles internally due to the death of their brother. And J.D. Salinger's classic, The Catcher in the Rye, it illustrates a teenager's coming of age through a dramatic struggle against death and growing up. Holden also experiences new social constructs while dealing with his dark internal problems that leave him to become a self-destructive and lonesome young person.
Holden sees life through a very pessimistic and introverted lens to his personal sorrows. Holden walks through life feeling empty, lonely, and he bottles up his emotions that slowly take away from his livelihood. With his exploration of New York City, you enter the vision that this sad, youthful person lives during his last few days in the Big Apple. Holden's views on the world also changes very little throughout the novel. However, his perception on the world does change in one way. He realizes how powerless he is to change the world. J.D. Salinger is also very successful in making the reader see just how messed up the world really is through the eyes of Holden Caulfield. Additionally, Holden's degrading personality squanders his credibility of his opinions because his perception of things is always pessimistic and seems to be permanently wired negative. Looking past his negativity, there is a lot of truth to the narrative.
Innocence and death. The dominating theme in this novel is the preservation of innocence, especially of children. We can see this throughout the novel, as Holden strives to preserve innocence in himself and others. The metaphorical meaning beneath Catcher in the Rye illustrates this theme ultimately by explaining that if the symbolic children playing in the field with joy come too close to the edge of the cliff, Holden will be there to catch and protect. Holden represents a simple defender of innocence because he doesn't want others to end up like him. The symbolism that is used in this book to detail the themes is almost an abusive format of utilizing that writing style. It pains us to recall this backstory through the usage of items that are seen over the course of the novel, such as his red hunting cap, used to capture the meaning of individuality and uniqueness, highlighting the central conflict Holden faces. Holden has feelings of being commanded by a social construct, which makes it hard to oppose norms. The looming adulthood that seeks Holden is a very strong theme, which he handles imperfectly constantly, fearing the worst of growing up.
Holden's experiences are extraordinary to us but are relatable in the sense that we require the same brain thought to overcome them. Being a teenager can be the hardest time for some people's lives, having to go through different feelings and emotions that affect our actions. We as people can either choose to be open or secretive about those same thoughts and feelings. Holden is the perfect example of an early 1950s rebel. He captures the voice of a well-off, young, rebellious teenager that doesn't want to grow up. This is like many teens in today's world. Even a teenager living in today's society, 60 years into the future, can relate to Holden and his struggles.
The fear that Holden faces in conquering self-consciousness, whilst defying social norms, is one admirable act. This book tries to make apparent that individuality means something. It's important and builds our character. However, society ushers us to fear this. The opposition in society is something that some believe will destroy what was built up. It's killing uniqueness, and J.D. Salinger's book tries to warn the thought of eliminating that individuality. Outliers make progressive change. However, seen through anti-progressive Holden Caulfield, The Catcher in the Rye is an in-depth piece of literature that we need to appreciate due to its viewpoint. In our world and out. This is what happens when there is no creativity.
The dominating theme in this novel is the pervert. I need water.
Hold a second. Tutter.